Hi everyone, it's me, and I'm back from yet another long break from YouTube because I like to do things that get me paid. Before I continue though, I just want to say you should hit that like button so you can help me in the algorithm. Please help me! The Whale is based on the play of the same name written by Samuel D. Hunter. It was directed by American filmmaker Darren Aronofsky, whose work I've enjoyed quite a bit, including his last film Mother. I'm apparently in the minority with that opinion, but The Whale follows Charlie, a morbidly obese man suffering from congestive heart failure who tries to connect with his daughter after being told he has very little time to live. I was very intrigued by the marketing of this film. I felt like it took A24 a long time to release a trailer, and the poster is kind of bad. It seemed like the only thing A24 wanted us to know about this film for the longest time is that Fraser delivers a great performance and has made a comeback in his career, which is weird when you consider the fact that he's been acting in other stuff for a while now, including Doom Patrol, Steven Soderbergh's new film No Sudden Move, or Batgirl, which I guess doesn't count since it got canceled. Now that I've watched it, I gotta say guys, I had a really hard time pulling away a coherent point from this film. I didn't necessarily have an issue with the fact that The Whale doesn't really feature Aronofsky's surrealist tendencies and that it's scaled down in scope. The Wrestler was as well, and that's one of Aronofsky's best films. The problem with this film is simply the writing. This story has a lot of things to say about various social issues, but none of it really comes together thematically. The story issues start very early when Charlie's best friend tells him to go to the hospital to get treatment, and he says he won't do it because he doesn't have health insurance, but then later on you find out that he does have money, $120,000 to be exact. If his goal in this film is to redeem himself by becoming closer with his daughter so he can have a positive effect on her life, then why not get the care you need to afford yourself the time to accomplish that? This whole setup just feels like an arbitrary way to create a sense of urgency. The stage-to-film adaptation also doesn't translate super well, which is made very clear by the lack of subtlety and how some performances are being performed for people in the back. There are a lot of scenes where Charlie will eat food and you can hear every bite and crunch in agonizing detail with the music playing loudly. The film frames these types of moments as Charlie giving in into an addiction, but it's way too heavy-handed to the point that it can feel cartoonish at times. You don't have to have really loud music and make these sounds so loud. You can just have him eat something and that's it. Just be subtle. There are so many scenes in this film that are just so awkwardly done that I could see it ending up in some parody film like Scary Movie or any of those other really bad parody movies that were super rampant in the late 2000s and early 2010s. The lack of subtlety also doesn't stop there though. Some characters are one-note plot devices meant to bring out really shallow melodrama like Sadie Sink's character Ellie. I don't have a problem with this character being angry and cruel. It makes sense that she is. Her father's asking her to hang out after abandoning her years ago, but this film is definitely trying to evoke a sense of realism to some extent, and it's absurd how Ellie can only seem to convey cruelty and anger the majority of the time and not experience a broader range of emotions. What I liked about Liz and Mary's character, played by Chau and Samantha Morton, is that they both, while critical and frustrated with Charlie, still experience this roller coaster of feelings while interacting with him and give off the sense that they truly care, even if they are angry at him. Ellie, on the other hand, is only there because Charlie promises to give her his inheritance and pretty much do her essay homework. She only decides to show compassion at the very end, at which point it's too late. You know, I really thought Aronofsky would be tired of incorporating yet another biblical element into his film after having made both Mother and Noah, but there's yet another one with this young missionary character in the film named Thomas who visits Charlie often and tries to help Charlie save himself through God. The first time Thomas visits Charlie, Charlie nearly dies of a heart attack while trying to masturbate to gay porn, which was an incredibly unnecessary way to communicate that Charlie is gay. What is the point of that scene? I don't understand why Charlie had to be doing that of all things the first time we see him. This scene really sets the tone with how Thomas's character is often used, which is just a vehicle for clumsy exposition. Every time Thomas leaves, you kind of forget that he even exists until he shows up again to deliver more clumsy dialogue and information. Now, I wouldn't say The Whale is terrible. There are still still a few fundamental things it does well from a technical point of view. I think Brendan Fraser and Hong Chau are able to elevate the material with two really great performances that they've understandably gotten a lot of praise and awards for. I thought Samantha Morton, who was only in the film very briefly, was fantastic. But outside of that, this is not a very good film that's not going to age very well. It tries to give us a tragic redemption story about how people cope in different ways and ends up muddling what it's trying to say by the end. I'm going to give The Whale a 2 out of 5. Thanks for watching this review, guys. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you thought about The Whale in the comment section below. Let me know if you think Brendan Fraser should get an Oscar this year. And as always, if you liked the video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you can know when I drop the next video. Until then, I will see you next time. Take it easy.